So guys, this is actually a video of what I did in Ruffin, North Carolina for the day. If you're interested in watching just the podcast, I have a separate video for that, but this video does include the podcast in it. Anyway, guys, so without further ado, here's the video.
Knock the dust off of it.
Huh?
So you knock the dust off of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's for, you know?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'd say we're good. We're in a good spot now. Mine's good. Yours is good. So I wanted to go back to that conversation about the birds and the hawk, the crows and the owl, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that something that you just kind of read about, or you just kind of have you actually ever seen those three different types of birds fighting?
Well, I have witnessed crows and hawks fighting before.
Yeah.
But I've watched videos on YouTube and stuff like that on TV. But
Okay.
but they are predators, but they don't like each other.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, so anyway, guys, I just wanted to say this is your boy Cheeseball. We're out here in beautiful Ruffin, North Carolina. This is my buddy Ben, Ben Pryor. Yeah, we just decided to come out here and talk a little bit about the outdoors and talk about some of the benefits of spending more time outdoors. We hope you guys enjoy. I mean, so just getting started, I wanted to just talk about, why you like the outdoors so much and um, how exactly it played into, your childhood growing up and, just the general sense of all that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. First off, but
Yeah, of course.
I was born and raised here in Ruffin, North Carolina, and I was born on a tobacco farm.
Okay.
And so, well, growing up, we always stayed outdoors, had an earn to keep type thing.
Yeah.
So you learn how to be independent and not dependent on everybody else or
Yeah.
somebody else bringing stuff to you. And
Mm-hmm. We're waking up early.
oh yeah, waking up
Yeah.
early
Like,
before the chickens.
yeah. Wow. Around what time?
Well, when I was younger, I would wake up before daybreak and we'd go start the irrigation motors. And so it'd probably be around 5:30.
Yeah.
We'd start the irrigation
Whoa.
pumps
Yeah.
and get them all ready for the early morning watering.
Yeah.
And so I'd go start all the pumps, come on back, and they'd have breakfast waiting on me. And then
Yeah.
they would go to work.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And so was that like an everyday thing, or was it like Monday through Friday, or?
Well, it was normally like a morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Mostly during tobacco season. It was April, early planting season.
Okay. Yeah.
And then pulling to be in the fall.
Mm-hmm. I've heard somewhere that you're not really doing that year round. It's just like during a certain season, right? And
Right.
then that money's got to be saved for the rest of the year so that
Correct.
you can get ready for the next season, right?
Right on.
So I think that's really interesting. It's almost like I've always wondered what exactly are farmers doing in between that time, when they're not having to do the bulk of all that work,
Right.
when it's out of season, right? When you guys are out of season.
Well, we do other crops. So we put other crops in rotation that put the nutrients that we take out of the ground back into it. Cause tobacco sucks up a whole lot.
Yeah.
Uh, so we'll plant like winter wheat in the wintertime to put some of that nutrients back in the ground.
Yeah.
And well, we can a bunch of our food and we
Okay.
save it for the wintertime and we'll store it.
Yeah.
Uh, so even meat, you can deer meat. So if
Oh, really?
you kill a
No, I
deer
didn't
and
even know that.
yeah,
That's cool.
you can can deer meat. So
Yeah. I'm sure there's people that have businesses and that too that just do that specifically, or Is that kind of like a thing where like just everybody does, or up here?
Well, everybody, I think can do it. I think we do a bunch of canning with our vegetables, and
Yeah.
my grandpa, like him growing up, there'd be times they'd only have meat on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and just from Monday through Saturday, they're eating garden raised vegetables,
Yeah. Yeah.
beans, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool.
So it was a privilege to have meat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I've always wanted to like I didn't realize how much time I had spent indoors growing up just playing video games until I was about 18 or 19 and I had gone like, through the my enlistment in the Marine Corps. And I started like really getting to know people that from different backgrounds and different areas of the world. And just seeing like, wow, like, if something happened, I wouldn't know what to do, or like if the, food supply went down, or if we just, lost really important technology like, um, GPS or, Wi-Fi internet, like would I be able to live off the land? Would I be able to, really just fish, for instance, or hunt, or maybe even like, garden, farm. Um, and so that's kind of where my journey began into like really digging into this stuff and trying to figure out like, um, some of these like important like outdoor skills really, you know. Um, and so when I was about maybe 23 or 24, I'm 25 now. That's when I like really just started spending more time outdoors. Because you had to do that like in the Marine Corps as well.
Right. Right.
And they teach you a little bit of the basics, but not to the extent that, some people that live in some of these like more rural areas like yourself would know about. So I think that's really neat,
Mm,
that's
yeah.
pretty cool.
I mean, well, my grandpa, I mean, he grew up during the Great Depression, so if you want to hear two pennies scream, put them in his pocket. So,
Yeah.
they grew up
Yeah.
on
Wow.
pinching pennies,
Yeah.
and they never threw away anything. So I guess they were kind of like borderline hoarders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they always had something that they could piece together to fix something. They never
Hmm.
really threw anything away.
Yeah. And see, I don't even know if I would count it as hoarding if like you're actually putting it to use, Like
Right.
if it or
Eventually.
yeah, yeah. Like if you're good with your hands, if you like fixing things and it's not just sitting somewhere like forever, um, and at some point, you're fixing it, I don't really see that necessarily as hoarding either. It's more like, it's your it's a form of investment, right? Like, um, in a similar way to how like you put away money for retirement, maybe
Right.
at some point this could come in, um, you know, come into like being helpful in some way. You could sell it later, like, almost like buying an old car, fixing it up and selling it later. And now that's part of like your retirement in a sense,
Oh yeah.
right? Or something
Yeah.
like that.
Right
So
on.
yeah, I think that's pretty neat. Um, Recently I remember, the last time I came over, it was like really cold, but we went, fishing, and I came to find that I didn't really even know how to like, um, I had to like freshen up on some of my, fishing skills. I'd gone
Yeah.
fishing before, but it'd been a while. I'd
Yeah.
really only gone like two other times before that. Like how to unlock and, lock the reel. Um, so, I guess my question is, do you think like this is kind of a weird question actually.
No, you're fine.
Do
Go
you
ahead.
think that like assuming that like let's say like all the something happens on land and all of the land animals just go away, or we can't touch them because of some disease or something, is it possible to just live off of fish and maybe plants alone?
Yeah, I think if we could be self sufficient off of plants and fish, but it's a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the rivers, it'd be easy to pollute and uh basically kill
Mm,
everybody off. And I guess since so if we were to pollute the water, people downstream would
mm-hmm.
be affected from it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it'd be an easy way to hurt somebody else if we don't take care of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. What would you like say would be like one of the best ways to just be a good fisherman essentially?
Well, I mean, always pick up after yourself is one big thing. If you see something in the water, always just if you can safely do it, just pick it up and remove it.
Yeah. Yeah.
but you just control what you put back into the water.
Yeah.
Because there's always somebody down below you that is drinking from it or relying off of it for their livelihood.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. Is it like possible to, so as far as like spending time outdoors in general, um, even if we didn't have YouTube, for instance, and like if the internet went down, like, um, is it possible to just learn off the land by spending more time outdoors? Or like how exactly did you like specifically pick up on some of these things and, hunting and, for instance, not like, I remember recently you told me something about how, moving branches out the way isn't really something that, like, when you're in the woods, isn't something that humans, I mean, sorry, not humans, animals do to begin with. And so you
Right.
kind of want to like mimic like how an animal moves in a way, because then other animals spot that and they warn other animals in like the noises that they make. And now you
Yeah.
just have,
They have like little passageways and tunnels they'll follow, like little highways for themselves.
mm-hmm,
I guess like their travel routes from water and different areas, but try not to disturb it too much.
yeah, yeah.
You don't want to be breaking a bunch of branches, but at the same time, I don't want to get smacked in the face a whole lot either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah,
so I will disturb it a little bit, but
yeah,
uh, I try not to disturb the path too much,
yeah, yeah.
but just follow them around.
What's an example of that? Like one of their passageways? Could you just like describe that some?
Uh, well, normally a deer tunnel, like it'd be probably about chest height, probably around 5 foot maybe, because
Yeah,
you got some of your larger males that they'll travel through there too.
yeah, yeah,
But it'd just be like a little 1 foot so passageway wide, and it'd just be a little tunnel through the woods, through the undergrowth.
oh, cool.
Yeah. So
Wow.
if it's real
Like a
thick,
clearing, right?
yeah,
So
like
it's
a
like
little clearing for the
around
undergrowth.
it's like all thick. Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
I get that. That's cool. I hadn't really noticed that before. Like, see, to me, I'm just now getting to the point where I'm starting to pick up on some of these little like passageways and like patterns and, areas that weren't really made by man,
Right.
that are more like clearings. But before, and even now, um, oftentimes everything just kind of looks the same, but just having to start paying more attention to things like that, that's really cool. That is. Um, I had one more question, but
No, you're
I
fine.
can't remember what it was.
Uh,
It was like number 5.
but I just my dad he taught me a whole lot about the outdoors
Yeah.
when I was young. Um, as far as how to think like a deer, what to do, what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
As far as turkeys, they have great eyesight, but they can't hear very well.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can be kind of loud turkey hunting, but you can't move because they can see you like a hawk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But deer, they can smell you better than they can see you. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
different senses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What to do, what not to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad taught me a whole lot,
Yeah.
but
That's really cool.
we try to manage try to manage what we kill. We try to not just wipe them out. We try to let them populate so they can
Yeah.
continue to supply us.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. And that's, I guess, why there's like, deer season and, hunting season, things like that. But I was like reading somewhere too recently that apparently those seasons are also there for a reason, because if we didn't like go hunting, then their populations will also kind of like grow out of control, and then you'd have like a crap ton of deer
Oh yeah,
or just a bunch of like other animals like just overpopulating and just kind of messing up their own populations essentially.
oh
And
yeah.
that's why there's predators in the wild as well and
And then
things
they're
like that.
breeding seasons.
Yeah,
So like we want to give them time to reproduce and repopulate.
yeah,
So if we're hunting them year round or the certain time of year, we might end up hurting their reproduction cycle.
yeah, yeah. uh, that's true. That's really neat. um oh yeah, I remember the next question. So with that being said, what's one of your favorite things about living up here?
Well, As far as like North Carolina.
Yeah, I would say North Carolina, and then I'll make this like a two-part question, really. North Carolina, and then also more specifically, rough in this area, this county.
All right.
Yeah.
So North Carolina in general, I like North Carolina because of the weather.
Hmm.
I'd say we get 5 seasons.
Oh yeah. Yep. That's true.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I like the weather, and
Yeah.
then natural disasters. We don't really have a lot of hurricanes,
Yeah.
earthquakes, uh, tornadoes, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and it's not blistering
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some other states, like Texas or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. The seasons is a big one too.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of making some people want to. A lot of people want to move here. And there's a part of me that's like, no, stop moving here. Because
yeah,
especially like down in Burlington, but that's like another story. um, but no, I understand what you're saying. That's yeah. So
so,
sorry, continue.
you're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the seasons and everything of North Carolina and the weather and how I guess safe it is as far as the natural disaster aspect.
Mhm. Mhm.
But as far as roughing, I mean, I love it because of how quiet and peaceful it is.
Mhm.
Uh, you have your rolling hills, so it's not just flat, flat land that you get a bunch of wind.
Mhm.
You got mountains in the area,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
ponds,
Mhm.
streams. So it's
Yeah.
cut up enough where
Yeah.
it's not just flat as far as I can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and then the people, it's not a whole lot of people in the roughing area.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
population isn't very high, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so you get some peace and quiet at night with
Yeah.
not a bunch of cars driving by.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It really does like lower anxiety when you can just drive to where you're going and you're not like having to wait for people to move out the way, or like you're not sitting behind a line of cars at a stoplight, trying to make it to work because you were rushing, for the most part. Even if you're running late, you can get to work on time. Um, and you're not really hearing as much the noise of like, the interstate cars going up and down the road. Um, and I think there's something holistic about that, just being able to hear like just animals. You go outside and you hear animals more than you do people,
Oh
which
yeah,
is actually really cool. Um, so
I enjoy it. It's real peaceful, and you kind of become one with nature in a way.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, there's a couple dogs coming down.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
neighbors walking their dogs.
Okay. Are they friendly?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
friendly. They're probably gonna
Okay.
bark a whole lot though.
Oh. Well, that was a surprise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey. Well, I guess maybe this is a sign that we ought to cut it here. But that's all, folks. Yeah,
All
it's a boy
right.
Cheeseball
Thank
once
you for
again.
having me.
Yeah, Ben Pryor. Thank you guys so much. I'll be seeing y'all in the next video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell on your way out the door. And as always, peace. I'll just cut it there. So we are currently riding on the back of a truck tailgate with my buddy Ben. We're gonna go out to this field to go shoot some targets. We're gonna attempt some 50 and potentially even 100-yard shots with a handgun. We'll see how it goes. I'd say that's probably good.
And stuff like in
Oh yeah.
Germany,
Yep.
because they were so uniform and they were just lunatics.
Yeah, yeah. They were giving I think they were giving them crystal meth too,
Yeah.
to be able to like run into like towns and invade and kill like in the rates, the speed that they were. It was nuts.
For like 7 days straight.
Yeah, yeah. They weren't sleeping. They were just like several days in a row. They were just like going and like,
massacres.
yeah. It was nuts.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna try this out and see how it goes.
All right. However far you want to go.
Yeah. You do not intend to shoot. Keep your finger straight off the trigger until you intend to fire. Keep your weapon on safe until you intend to fire. Oh, and be sure of your target and what's around it and behind it. So. That's still kind of loud even with these in.
So short.
Yeah. most times with the left hand.
Empty.
Oh, it is. All right. And if you want to shoot the whole mag, you can. You know, there's.
No, dude, I ain't gonna see. I just want to see how it operates.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just hard. It's just so little.
Yeah, yeah. There's a whole lot more recoil too.
Yeah.
So.
That little pinky is just like.
Yeah, yeah. I may have to. I don't know. I may get another one, like a smaller one. I mean, not a smaller one. Sorry, a bigger one.
Right.
Just so it's more stable too. So.
Yeah. Knock the dust off of it.
Huh?
So you knock the dust off of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's for, you know.
Oh yeah.
There's some people that